Hey there everyone, this is Jessica from domesticatedme.com. Today I'm sharing all of the items that I picked up from the Louis Vuitton Takashi Murakami Chapter 2 Cherry Blossom launch. Now if you haven't watched my previous video where I talk about my launch day in-person experience, I really recommend that you watch it. But in there I talk about what it was like to try to shop this collection on launch day. It was a little chaotic to say the least. On launch day, people waited in line to get in and then were told that you can submit a wish list to a sales associate or client advisor, but then at 2 p.m. you would be sent a link to actually make the purchase if these items were still available. Still to this day, I don't know if that's the norm for a launch day in-person experience. Now, I've been told from multiple sources that the 57th Street location here in New York City, the temporary flagship, is the boutique with the most stock in the entire country. To this day, I still understand why, if you showed up at 10 a.m. and were one of the first people in line to go in and, were ready to buy something, why you couldn't just pay for your item and receive your item there. I don't know if it was a stock issue, like they didn't have them physically in the store. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know. There were a few items that were in stock right at 10 a.m. and you could purchase and walk out of the store with it. And that was just a few SLGs and a fragrance. And so in that video, which I will share with you again today, I mentioned that I did purchase something at the launch day that morning. And that is in here. Now I did my unboxing of this item at the end of that video, but it came in this packaging, which was very interesting. I hadn't seen it. I don't think I saw it in the images of the special packaging online. And so through this, they had the Takashi Murakami ribbon, and then you just opened it like so, and then pulled out the item. So that item is this. I purchased the Spell on You fragrance from the Cherry Blossom collection. It's still in its packaging. Now in that video, I mentioned that I purchased this, but I wasn't sure if I was going to keep it or not because the fragrance, I don't think it's for me. It's sort of like a very, very sweet, powdery floral fragrance, and it wasn't hitting right, at least not for me. Now, for weeks, I tried and tried and tried to get samples of the Spell on You so that I could wear it and try it on and let it dry down and see how my scent mixes with the fragrance to see if I like it or not. But because I couldn't get a hold of it, I purchased this blindly. I actually did try it in the store, and that was my immediate response to it, was just like, oh, that's really, really sweet. And I just didn't love it. I didn't love it the moment that I tried it. I immediately had doubts, and I was actually taken aback by it because this was the only item that I was ready to buy, that I knew that I wanted because of the beautiful glass that it comes in. I love the bottle, and I was hoping that I would love the fragrance and that I could just buy it and I would just be happy with my purchase from this collection. However, when I tried it, I just didn't expect not to love it. And so when I was assigned a sales associate, I was afraid that I had nothing to tell him about, in regards to what I wanted to purchase. But I made the purchase anyway because I figured I'd rather have it and then decide that I didn't want it and return it rather than not buy it and then decide I did want it regardless of what the fragrance was like, because I love the bottle so much, and then not be able to get it. So I made the purchase. It's still in its packaging, and I have finally decided to return it. It's just not a fragrance for me. I love the bottle. I think it's beautiful. I love it. I'm growing my fragrance collection. I already have one Louis Vuitton fragrance, and I was hoping to add another one and that it would be this one. Unfortunately, again, the fragrance is not for me. It's not that I dislike the fragrance, I just don't love it. I was watching A Heated Mess do an unboxing of her purchases, and she also purchased this fragrance. Now she loves it, and that's great. I'm so happy for her, but she mentioned that her kids don't like it and that they told her that it sort of smells like an old lady, like it's an old lady fragrance. And that is when it hit me. It smells like a fragrance that my aunt wears. She is 89 years young, and I love her to death, and it almost made me want to keep it just for that, but no, it smells just, I don't know what my aunt uses. I'm gonna ask her, but it smells just like that. And every time I go by Louis, I spray it on my wrist just to see if the scent, can grow on me. But I sprayed it really well that last time that I went, and I waited till my husband to get home, and I had him smell it, and he was just like, he's like, I don't know. And then I said, I think it smells like pache. He's like, yes, that's exactly what it smells like. And then he said, yeah, don't wear that. Ultimately, it was my decision. It doesn't matter what he thinks if I love it, but I don't love it. And I just don't feel like paying, $500 for a fragrance that I'm not going to use, that I'm not going to love, just because I love the bottle. So I'm just going to wait it out and see if maybe after someone uses it, maybe a couple of years down the line, someone sells the empty bottle. I'll be happy to purchase it as long as it's a reasonable price. But I don't want to keep this and take this away from someone who really does want it, loves the fragrance, and would wear it. So it's going back. By the way, if you're new here, welcome, bienvenidos. My name is Jessica Flores, and I am a lifestyle creator. I create content about fashion, beauty, DIY projects, luxury, family travel, and so much more. So if any of those topics interest you, go ahead and click that subscribe button and the bell icon next to the subscribe button so you can set your notifications on for all. I make new videos every week, but I don't have a set schedule, so if you have your notifications on, you won't miss a thing. Now, in that video, I also mentioned that I put 2 items in my wish list and was sent a link to purchase it at 2 p.m. And here is the first item. No tags. I don't think there are any tags left at the 57th Street location because I haven't received any. I didn't see anyone with the little, the little panda tags, the little flower head and the onion guy. So I think they're sold out, which I don't understand. I guess they didn't restock on all of the packaging. I know so many of us have talked about the packaging issue and how, it's not the end of the world, but if you're paying so much, especially because it's a limited edition collection, I just don't understand why they couldn't make the little extra investment. I mean, how much can this cost? How much can ribbon cost for a company like Louis? The tissue paper. But anyway, I digress. All right, so see, regular tissue paper, regular Louis Vuitton white tissue paper. And here it is. It is the pink Bando. Here it is. It is the pink Bando. Now, if you've been watching videos about this collection, you know that this was an original pink monogram that came out 20 years ago. They had handbags in this canvas, but for some reason for this collection, they didn't bring this back out, only in little touches like this. Let me give you a closer look. Here we have the pink monogram and cherry blossoms on this side. And then it says Louis Vuitton on the bottom. And then on this side, it is just the pink Louis Vuitton monogram. But on the bottom end of this one, there is one cherry blossom, and then it says Louis Vuitton on this end. It is super cute, super pretty. Again, when I realized that I didn't love that fragrance, I knew that there was a possibility that I would not own anything from this collection, and I just wanted something. I try to tell myself, and I've said this before, that I am not a collector, I just have a collection. Because personally, I think that once you start thinking of yourself as a collector, you start buying things that you don't actually love or want or need just because you have a collection and you want to complete the collection. I don't want to do that. I don't want to spend money on things that I'm not going to use, that I'm not going to love, that I'm just going to have sitting as decoration in my home. I don't want to do that. And by the way, no shade to anyone else. I'm just speaking for myself. I've had bags that I've, haven't used for years, and I've just decided I'm not doing that anymore. So I've been selling a lot of my handbags and SLGs. I sold and gave away like half my wardrobe, half my clothes. I sold and gave away almost all my heels. Check out my Poshmark closet because I have a ton of deals there. I have high-end designer items. I have items from contemporary brands. I have things from High Street. Just check it out. Trust me, you will find a good deal there. So anyway, because I knew there was a possibility that I would be returning that fragrance, I did want something. So I said to myself, what is something that isn't super expensive that I could use, would be versatile, and I would own a little piece of this collection and it would satisfy that itch, and so I thought of the Bandos. So I got this one. It is so cute. It is so, so pretty. And as you know, Bandos can be worn many, many different ways. It can be used many different ways. You can use these to decorate your handbags. You can use them to cover the handles of your bags. You can just hang them off like in a bow as a little bag decor item. You could wear it around your neck. You could wear it around your hair. I've worn these in my hair, like a headband. You can wrap this around your wrist. You could do so much with these. And again, they're one of the least expensive items from Louis Vuitton. So yeah, I had to do it. I also want to show this bag. I did get bags. So at least the 57th Street store still has some shopping bags left. That for sure. And the ribbon. Here is that second item. Let's open it up. No tissue for this one. I get this tiny, hard to open box, and that's it. Okay, here we go. I got the other Bando in the brown monogram with the cherry blossoms on them. Now, I think I actually prefer this color combination. I just love brown and pink. I love brown and pink together. I think they look so, so good together. In fact, when I had Catalina, my firstborn, I decorated her room in brown and pink. So I just love that color combination. And even though the pink is super, super cute and pretty and feminine and just lovely, I do love this. And I am trying to continue to tell myself that I don't need a handbag from this collection. I really, really loved the pochette accessoire. I saw it in person on launch day and I just kept looking at it and touching it and it was very, very cute, but I know I don't need another small bag. And I have mentioned this before, I love the vintage, the original bags that come in this monogram and cherry blossom canvas. So if I'm gonna buy anything, I keep telling myself just buy the original in the pre-sale market. Whenever I'm ready and I really, really want a bag and I really need to scratch that itch, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna go into the vintage market and get one of the original bags. But now I have this and this is so cute, and let me give you a closer look. So on one side we have the brown monogram with the cherry blossoms. And then on this side, it is just that brown monogram. And then we have a cherry blossom on this end. And it says Louis Vuitton on this end. All right, and that was everything that I purchased from this collection. Let me know what you think about the pieces that I purchased and the collection in general. Let me know if you picked up anything from this Chapter 2 collection. I don't know if it's just me, but I'm definitely not seeing as many people doing unboxings and sharing what they purchased from this collection as opposed to the first launch of the multicolor monogram. I don't know if that was just because there were less pieces in this collection or people were just not as interested. And I'm really curious to see what's going to happen with the last launch, the Cherry or Cerise collection. I know that I was thinking about purchasing a handbag. However, I keep thinking about it. I still have not received my Nano Speedy from the multicolor collection, and it's been way over 60 days, which is what they said it would take for me to receive my piece. I called them last week and they told me they were going to call me back to give me an update. Still have not been contacted by them at all. And I'm just feeling, if I'm being completely honest, I'm just kind of over it. I'm just kind of over it. I'm over all these collections. And I love the Cherry collection. I love the Cerise collection. It's one of my favorite collections that they've done. I keep looking over there because I have my little Cherry, I'll bring it out. I'll bring it out. I kept looking over there because I was looking at this. This is my Cerise agenda. I love this agenda. It's so cute. I love this canvas and I love the cherry interior. I also have the round coin purse, the little round coin pouch. And so I really love this collection. I was so excited to see the upcoming launch. However, the more I think about it and the more I just sort of sit in my frustration and confusion, I feel over it. So I was thinking about buying a handbag from the upcoming Cherry collection, but the more I think about it, the more I'm like, I don't want to deal. I really don't. I want to deal with going in person, but then being told that I can't actually, pick up my item then, that I have to wait till 2 o'clock to get a link and possibly, maybe get the link to make a purchase and then not know how long it's going to take for that purchase to come in, or if I can pick it up from store. And if I could pick it up from store at 2 o'clock, why would I have to wait hours to then pick it up the same day? So I'm just over it. And so I don't really know if I'm going to shop that collection at all. I'm thinking maybe I'll just get an SLG because I do have some SLGs that I do love. And I don't know. I really don't know. What do you guys think? Have you guys thought about the next collection? Are you also over it? I feel like I've had a lot of comments come in saying the same thing, that they're not shopping. They didn't shop this collection and they're not shopping the next collection just because they were so put off by the first launch. And I gotta tell you, I understand. I understand, because that's how I feel right now. I'm just like, I don't want a deal. Do I care that much? I don't think I do. I don't think I do. But we'll see when we get the actual images, you know, the non-leaked, the actual images directly from Louis Vuitton, and see how I feel about it. Because again, I was thinking about buying a bag, but I've already paid for a bag that I still have not received. So that is frustrating. Yet again, I paid for my Nano Speedy, but I haven't received it yet. So do I really want to spend a couple of $1,000s more for a bag that I still, like, I don't know when I'm getting them, if I'm getting them. Yeah. Anyway, those are my thoughts. I hope that made sense. I try to be as coherent as possible with my thoughts on the frustration that I've been feeling, and just, I guess, annoyance, and just like, yeah, I don't know how else to put it. I'm over it, pretty much. Maybe. We'll see. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, if you found it informative, or if I just entertained you for a few minutes, please give this video a like. It really helps me out here on YouTube. It just lets the algorithm know that my videos are worth watching, and it'll push it out to more viewers. If you did enjoy this video, then you might want to check out this one and more from my channel. Thanks again for watching. Stay tuned.